Hi everyone, good day. We will talk about materials evaluation. Your reporters are Stella Merijoy and Barrett Raynant. So, we will go about the desired learning outcomes. After completing this lesson, you are expected to define what materials evaluation is, distinguish the difference between analysis and evaluation, evaluate language learning materials used in a basic education classroom using the principles in materials evaluation, and examine the K-12 English curriculum and cite materials used to facilitate mastery of a specific competency. So, learning contents and tasks. What is materials evaluation? Materials evaluation is a procedure that involves measuring the value or potential value of a set of learning materials. And it involves making judgments about the effect of the materials on the people using them, and it tries to measure some or all the following list by Tom Linson 2013. So the list are the appeal of the materials to the learners, the credibility of the materials to the learners, teachers, and administrators, the validity of the materials, the reliability of the materials, the ability of the materials to interest the learners and the teachers, the ability of the materials to motivate the learners, and the value of the materials in terms of short-term learning. Next, the value of the materials in terms of long-term learning, the learner's perception of the value of the materials, the teacher's perceptions of the value of the materials, the assistance given to the teachers in terms of preparation, delivery, and assessment, the flexibility of the materials, the extent to which it is easy for a teacher to adapt the materials to suit a particular context. And the other one is the contribution made by the materials to the teacher development, the match with administrative requirements. And now let's go to evaluation of learning materials. So remember, no two evaluations can be the same, as the needs, objectives, backgrounds, and preferred styles of the participants will differ from context to context. Second, it can include the analysis or follow from one, but the objectives and procedures are different. Third, an evaluation focuses on the users of the materials and makes judgments about their effects. And fourth, an analysis focuses on the materials and it aims to provide an objective analysis of them. So, evaluating and analyzing. Do you know what's the difference? So, an evaluation is your opinion based on a set of criteria that you created supported by facts. It's not an opinion, but the facts. While analysis examines the elements of something by separating the parts for a deeper understanding, which is you divide it and analyze each content so that you would understand and you could evaluate if it is a fact or a opinion. For example, analysis questions. Does it provide a transcript of the listening text? Is an analysis question which can be answered by either yes or no. Another example, the question is what does it ask the learners to do immediately after reading a text? So, it is also an analysis question which can be answered factually. As a result of answering many such questions, a description of the materials can be made which specifies what the materials do and do not contain. Now the example for evaluation questions. Example of the question, are the listening texts likely to engage the learner? Is an evaluation question and can be answered on a line between very unlikely and very likely. It can also be given a numerical value, and after many such questions have been asked about the materials, subtotal scores and total scores can be calculated and indications can be derived of the potential value of materials and subsections of them. So we are familiar of it when we do a probability scale. If we do our scale in 0 to 100%, that is the example have shown below. So next, I'll give you to the next reporter, Raynan.
Separating analysis from evaluation according to Little John 2011 through a general framework for analyzing materials, analysis of the target situation of use, material analysis, match and evaluation, determining the appropriacy of the materials to the target situation of use, and action. At this point, let's go to the principles in materials evaluation according to Tomlinson 2013. According to him, in principles in materials evaluation that materials should achieve impact, which means they should have attractive presentation and appealing content to the target learners. Materials should help learners to feel at ease, which means text and illustration in materials should make learners feel comfortable, relaxed, and being supportive. Materials should help learners to develop confidence, which means they should make learners feel successful and push learners to develop their skills. What is being taught should be perceived by learners as relevant and useful, which means materials should convince learners that teaching points are useful, whereby teachers need to find what the learners are interested in. Materials should require and facilitate learners' self-investment, which means they should encourage learners to invest their interest, efforts, and attentions. Learners must be ready to acquire the points being taught, which means using materials to prepare learners to focus on features of target language which they haven't learned yet, so they might be attentive to learn these features. Materials should expose learners to language in authentic use, which means they should provide learners with advice and instructions for their activities, spoken language, and written text. The learner's attention should be drawn to linguistic features of the input, which means materials should include grammar and how the language is actually used. And lastly, materials should provide learners with opportunities to use target language to achieve communication process. Moreover, materials should help the learner to develop cultural awareness and sensitivity. It also to reflect the reality of language use. It is important for the material to reflect the reality of language because it has a significant rule for us, and it covers a lot of us, especially those important aspects, just like, for example, the way we think and determine what we think about. It also reflects our culture and provides context for our identity, so that's why material should reflect the reality of language use. It also includes help learners to learn in ways similar to the circumstances in which they will have to use the language, help to create readiness to learn, and achieve effective engagement. And according to Richards 2001, material should give learners something they can take away from the lesson, teach something learners feel they can use, give learners a sense of achievement. The teacher must give his or her learners a sense of achievement. Even if this achievement is small, it has a big impact on the learner's feelings. The learners feels motivated, and if that is so, that they have the courage to do other tasks and they perform at work better, developing positive well-being over time. It also includes practice learning items in an interesting and novel way, provide a pleasurable learning experience, provide opportunities for individual practice, provide opportunities for personalization. And the last one is provide opportunities for self-assessment of learning. This is the best way to identify your learners' knowledge from the learning materials you have given to them, whether they truly understand the lessons or not.